What's up, guys? Welcome back. It's Mapper here today with another episode of Engage Kiss. We're on episode 7 now, which is the halfway point of the season. Not really expecting any sort of like opening change or whatnot, but hey, I would welcome the surprise, if you will. Last episode, we were introduced to a new character, Sharon, who is a nun, and a battle nun at that. I love it. I mean, I guess you could consider it as some sort of fetish, but as someone who loves like fantasy works and you know a lot of those like fantasy settings, this really tickles my pickle, if you will. And it helps that Sharon is both hot and dangerous, right? Now, is she going to be actually like a potential love interest inside this already like complicated triangle relationship? I don't really think so. I think they're pretty much set on this triangle here. I do have had a feeling that Sharon is going to be more of a friend than a foe, but we'll have to see about that once we get into her backstory, and of course a little bit more of Kisara's backstory as well. So I expect at the end of this episode for everything to go back to normal. Kisara goes back to Shu's side, and then we can actually have like a little bit of a triangle fight going on between Ayano and Kisara, where both are kind of sort of on the equal starting point, right? With that in mind, let's get into the episode. All right, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. Oh, man. We are having some pretty epic music right now. Alright, is this gonna be an epic fight? Woo! Man, assassin nun. I think this is, like, she's supposed to be a normal human, right? Well, I guess if you want to be like a demon slayer or whatnot, you should be very well trained, right? Hey, I know. Like, how exactly is she getting those abilities and whatnot? She's supposed to be like, well, I mean, I guess since there's demons here, it's entirely possible that there are some counterparts to demons, right? I... Like I said, this is the rom-com stuff I'm waiting for. I can't believe that speaking of rom-com, I can't believe that they actually initially labeled this, or like on my anime list, as just romantic and comedy, right? Like, of course, it's kind of like a little part of it, but it's so far from what this actually is. But in any case, I'm sure like I said at the beginning, we'll probably learn a little bit more about Kisara's initial like encounter with Shu and all that. So do most demons actually look like Kisara, like having a humanoid appearance and whatnot? Because I feel like Kisara definitely looks a lot more different than all the other demons that we've seen so far. Okay. That's Shu's sister, right? What's her name again? Oh, kinda. No. Hmm? Yeah, like, why exactly is a human so strong? Living, really. Her name is like a holy grail. Okay, 12, eh? That's a good Tsukumi there. Jung. Good retort, I don't know. That was a good retort by Kisara as well, though. Like, I don't know, like, if Ayano's mom is like purposely withholding some information from Ayano at this point, but she's really like relatively clueless about a lot of things. All right, so mostly based in Europe. Makes sense. I mean, it's obviously taking like inspiration from the Catholic Church and all that. Oh wait, they actually managed to keep this under wraps? Where the hell do these people get their power from? Like, honestly. Now she gets a battle suit? Wording. Wording, girl. Iikata. Hmm. Okay, so basically Shu then turned around and betrayed A. Seriously? Oh my god. Does she actually even remember that? Man, you can call Shu everything you want, but this dude is resourceful. She just wants to know, eh? Some fans members? No, no. She's just putting on the battle suit. Oh my god. Okay, that's a common thing to do when like it's a special thing in Japanese culture. Like they love to use Twitter, right? And you know sometimes they will like comment on a person's tweet or post like without following them. You know, so that's why they would preface their what they're saying with that. You know, we even though I'm not following you, allow me to respond to you with this tweet or something of that sort. Now here's the question: is this actually stolen, or was this actually sort of maybe this was something that they decided. I'm wondering if maybe this is actually something that the Abbey sneaked in to this city, right? And Sharon was supposed to get it. And see that what did I say? Oh, so there's actually that kind of restriction as well. You need like a flesh of a demon in order to kill a demon. Mm-hmm. Exterminate demons. A minigun? Oh yeah. Nice. We're going full Iron Man here, guys. Yeah. Damn. A battle suit and a tentacle suit at the same time. Alright. I can just imagine the fan art that's gonna come out of this. I know I'm supposed to like be on the side of Kisara and all that, but I just want to say I am very pleased by this development. Would she really actually be triggered by that though? I kind of have a feeling that Sharon is the type of girl who just plays around anyways. Ooh. I guess it's about time for Shu to come to the rescue, eh? Damn, that was super effective. Holy shit. Yep, there we go. That's because you don't remember. Rescuing Kana, right? Yeah, it helps that the demon is actually cute, isn't it? It's actually cute and beautiful. But like I said, I can't, like, honestly, I can't really fully support this relationship. I mean, obviously, I know at the end of the day that Shu obviously will have feelings for Kisara, but when it's at the cost of like, now we'll talk more about this at the end. I'm still a little bit. Isn't that what love is all about? Oof. So his memories of her hasn't really been completely wiped. Yeah, I think there's no way that Sharon is someone who does this on a personal whim, right? Of course, she might fully volunteer for this mission because of it, but I mean, the ebb and flow, right? The ebb and flow. Alright, see you guys after this. Oh, actually, there's a little bit more after the ending song, so let's just watch this together in 3, 2, 1, play. Ooh, some foreboding news. See you guys after this. Well, alright guys, that was quite the interesting episode, right? We got a lot of good stuff. We got the drama, we got the rom-com, we got the action, we got some pretty cool effects, some pretty cool music, and some pretty hot babes duking it out, right? What's not to like about all of this? You know, the sort of like prediction, prophecy, whatever you want to call, at the end of the episode. I mean, I think that much is obvious. Like I said, and like Shu said, Sharon doesn't really strike me as a person who is doing this just for personal reasons, right? She's more like the type who will, you know, I will still follow like the main road or whatnot, but I might take a slight detour to do what I want to do, but still ultimately come back to the main road, right? So that's kind of like the situation here as well. I'm sure that her actual orders here were probably to face the sort of like huge demon incursion that she's supposedly saying is going to happen, but you know, she just simply took this time to kind of sort of get her own revenge, right? And who can blame her? I mean, she was definitely using Shu as well. I don't really think there's any love lost between them. I think it's more a case of pride, right? She definitely strikes me as this type of prideful person who simply can't who simply refuses to admit that she got one-upped, and so she wants to get revenge for all of that. Why she's concentrating herself on Kisara rather than Shudo, that definitely bears some sort of suspicion as well. But I think ultimately it's still mostly just a triangle here, right? And talking a little bit about the battle and whatnot. I mean, not much else to say. I am still quite surprised by the abilities that Sharon exhibits, but I think ultimately at the end of the day, it's still far from an actual demon, right? Especially a demon that's powered up. So apparently what Kisara says is that she can go for 2 transformations, right? So I guess depending on how many memories that she gets from Shu, she's able to transform up to two times in order to power herself up. That might be important in the future. Let's keep a note of that. The rest, I'm actually kind of torn between feeling that the battlesuit is awesome, right, and not just a battlesuit, but a tentacle, like sort of like eldritch empowered battlesuit, right? That's definitely a really fun concept. It's just that I'm kind of, at the same time, I'm kind of not so okay with, because I feel like the concept of a battle nun is interesting in of itself, that I don't really want to taint it with like high tech stuff, right? I don't like, I'm not sure, like, do you guys get what I mean? Like, I love the concept of fighting nuns and all that, and it's like a common trope in a lot of stuff which deals with the supernatural. If you have some unholy stuff, you fight against demons or whatnot. There is this concept of these fighting nuns, right? But resorting to like actual like high powered suits and whatnot, I don't know how I feel about that. It's kind of like it's like, steak is great, ice cream is great. You don't really want to put those two together at the same time, right? That's kind of how I feel about the entire situation here. I mean, sure, it's hot and all that, but I don't know. It's definitely a strange mix here, right? So hopefully we'll not be seeing too much of that anymore. If we are going to be, if you are going to call yourself like, sort of like having a divine presence, and I'm assuming that the Celestial Abbey still gets most of their teachings and power deriving from, I guess, gods. Like, again, since demons exist in this world, right? I do think that we need to consider the possibility of some deities as well, right? That are not so much on the demon side, but on the holy side, if you will. So that might come into play in the future. We'll have to see about that. So, putting aside all of the battle and the fighting and whatnot, I think one major thing that always, like, we come back to is definitely, Kisara's relationship with Shu and this entire thing, right? Like, again, even though, obviously, we're supposed to, especially within these 2 episodes, we're supposed to feel sympathetic more towards Kisara, I just feel uncomfortable, like, rooting for her, because, if you're winning this war by the process of eliminating, like, through the process of elimination, right? If you're winning somebody's love by erasing their love for others, I don't like it. I don't like this kind of victory, right? So that's why I can't really approve of this kind of fully approve like going to Kisaru. Like, it could change, but it'll have to be like done through a different kind of manner, right? And at this point in time, we don't know if there's even actually going to be like a chosen route, right? Like, one is a demon, one is a human. Sharon is, I don't really think, in contention. So how exactly is this gonna work? Are we going to have like a sort of like a triangle ending or whatnot? Hard to say at this point. It's just that, again, I don't really like the concept of Kisara winning just simply because she's erased Shu's memories of all the other women before him, right? And not to mention, like, I think, on Shu's side, he's definitely, don't get me wrong, like, I feel like he definitely cares about Kisara, right? I don't think really Shu is as much of a scumbag as it is, the anime is trying to make him, right? Obviously he's a womanizer, obviously he's using women to help further advance his goals and whatnot. I don't really think he's the type who just throws people away when he doesn't need them anymore, right? So even for Kisara, like obviously, he's choosing to go into this relationship and whatnot, for the actual purpose of, I would say the number one thing would be to get back Kana, his sister. But beyond that, can you say that he really doesn't have any feelings for Kisara? I do believe he has feelings for Kisara. It's just that, like I said, I just don't really like the concept of him, like Kisara, winning in the end, just simply because, let's say Shu's on a scale from 1 to 100, right? Let's say Shu's feelings for Kisara is like at 80. Now, what's to say that his feelings for Ayano isn't at 90, for example? Or heck, even Sharon. Well, Sharon, again, I really have my full doubts upon, but it's that kind of concept here that I'm really curious about. And speaking of which, I'm also kind of curious, like obviously Sharon and Kisara happened after Ayano, right? But is Ayano actually Shu's first girlfriend? I wonder, right? I do wonder if maybe he turned out this way after he set his mind to break up with Ayano and focus his life on getting back his, or finding out what happened to his family and getting back his sister and all that sort of stuff. Well, we'll just have to see. Hopefully the writers do give us a pretty good progression and development in terms of the romance aspects, in terms of the relationship aspects of this as well, and not like rom-com stuff and good for laughs and all that. Sure, we can have those laughs, but in order for it to actually progress anywhere, I do hope that we get the proper character development as well, which technically I feel like should be something that they do. I mean, if they are going to go so far as to put this as one of the major like features of this work, this sort of triangle relationship, then I am assuming and hoping that they will expand on this a lot more as well. Not just in terms of like what happened in the past and whatnot, right? But also like what happens now. I feel like in a certain sense, okay. I don't really want to go too much on a tangent here, but it's just that I do hope that we are able to see what's going to happen here, and for them to actually have a little bit more heart to hearts, have a little bit more monologues, have a lot more stuff. It's kind of similar to this particular situation here with Kisara's kind of pseudo breakdown in terms of feeling needed and wanted and so on and so forth. Yeah, and at the end of the day, I don't really think that's something that's good for Kisara either, right? Like, saying that in heat of moment, like, it's fine if this, we maintain alive, but if I'm winning it at the end and Shu is with me until the end, that's enough, right? Like, I feel like that's just way too sad for all sides involved, right? Not just for Shu's side, but for Kisara's side, for Ayano's side as well. That's kind of like a way too tragic of a relationship, right? Ending your ending your love life like that, doesn't sit right with me, right? So, full props to the girl for her commitment and whatnot, but I do feel like there's probably a better way to go about this. Anyways, that is it for this episode. Really, I feel like a lot of stuff is being done very, very well. I love the usage of music in this particular episode as well. It really gets you pumping, right? And the battle scenes, honestly, my only complaint for the battle scenes is that they were too short. I would have loved an extended fight between them as well. I feel like nothing has quite topped the initial like casino scene that we saw before. So hopefully, as time gets on and we get into more and more epic fights, the animation quality will come back once again. So anyways, that's it for now. Thank you guys. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.